I decided tonight I was going to start making my kombucha, which a friend of mine did, and he told me how to do it. So it's pretty simple. Basically, I just bought a GT's regular, it has to be original. It can't have any of the flavored ones. We're making a SCOBY, so we're trying to start our tea. Also had to get plain black tea. I just bought this on Amazon. You can use any regular black tea, but again, from what I've read, you're supposed to not use anything that is flavored. So they say like avoid Earl Grey and things like that. And then the last thing you need is just sugar. This sugar is just what will feed the bacteria in there. That it acts like, it's like a yeast or something that consumes it. So we're gonna just pour in the bottle here. It's got all the stuff we need in it. And then it's gonna feed on the sugar and the caffeine from the tea. And that's ultimately what's going to do things. Oh, good. So roughly 500 milliliters of water. So we'll get that in there with 2 tea bags. Put 2 organic black tea bags in there. In the future, maybe I'll experiment with doing a little bit more because I like my tea quite strong. The timer for the tea just went off. It basically brewed for about 15 minutes. So that's ready to go into here. And then we have to wait for that to then cool down. So first things I got to do is I have to remove the tea bags that are currently sitting in here. So then this tea is going to go into this jar, hopefully without spilling it all. Now, like I said, before I pour this in, I have to let this cool down. Otherwise, the bacteria and everything that's living in here that you want to be alive, that's going to grow your SCOBY, is going to die. If you want to be safe, just completely wait until the water is cooled all the way down to room temperature. I'm just going to add in an ice cube to help expedite that process. So one other thing that you need to make sure you do is also, I just have a plain dish towel here, and you want to cover up, even while it's cooling down, you just want to have this covered so that nothing, floating through the air lands in your tea. So right now, I just have a simple elastic and a towel on top there, and it's just going to sit there while this is cooling. The tea has been cooling off now for probably close to 45 minutes, almost an hour. I just have this meat thermometer. You don't need to use a thermometer, you can just wait longer. But I wanted to uncover it, and I just took the temperature. Right now this says it's 18 degrees in the room. That's in Celsius, so sorry to the Fahrenheit people. When I stick it into the actual tea, the tea is coming up as 32 degrees Celsius, which we just looked up in Fahrenheit is about 91. So pretty close to where it needs to be. You can now go ahead and add the kombucha that you bought, and it won't have any issues, and then we'll go ahead and add the sugar as well. You're just going to add a ½ cup of sugar to your 2 cups of water. And then I'm just going to add in the raw organic kombucha. Actually, on this bottle, if I can turn it around, this floating chunk is essentially what's going to turn into a SCOBY for us. So I'm going to add that into here. You can really hear it fizzing away. I'm just going to get a little bit of additional water. Get the stuff off the bottom. Don't know if you're supposed to do that, but oh. So now all you have to do is cover it up. So I'm going to use just a towel and an elastic band. And you just want to cover it. You don't want to seal it with a lid. You want to be able to let it breathe. So you just want to use an elastic over that. And you want to cover it. You do want to make sure you cover it so that nothing falls in there. Dust, hair, dirt, skin particles, anything could get in and kind of disrupt the SCOBY that's going to be forming. So I'm just going to take this and put it up in a cupboard out of the way. You don't want to bump it or be shaking it around or moving it. So put it somewhere where it can stay alone. And I'm just going to push it back in there out of the way. So we'll come back and revisit that once enough time has passed. So really I'm just going to monitor it and see how it's doing, but it should take somewhere between 5 to 7 days before the SCOBY is ready.